Good morning, everyone. This is a brief presentation that will hopefully introduce all of you and orient you to the Student Advisory Council and its role on our campus. The first thing we need to clarify is the actual role of the Student Advisory Council. So again, this might be a review for some of you, and this might be new for all of you ninth graders. But again, the Student Advisory Council consists of several students that serve as representatives at all grade levels. And the idea here is that students in every advisory will choose a representative to go forward and serve on the council, and they will address questions, concerns, or other ideas of the students to the faculty, the administration, and the different governance committees at Vaughn. As far as who can serve on this council, any student can serve as long as they meet the following criteria. Number one, they have to be in good academic standing, meaning that the student should have a GPA of at least 2.5 or above. As of right now, we are not basing this off of last year's grades, so anybody can run at this point. They should have a consistent record of good citizenship. They should have strong work ethic and a very balanced extracurricular schedule. And I do want to comment on that part because one of the big problems we have as a small school is that so many students are involved in so many aspects of the school, which is a good problem to have. However, if a student is taking AP classes, is involved in sports, is involved in clubs, drama, music, and has family commitments as well as school, that person may want to reconsider how many commitments they take on, because anybody who serves on the council, there will be a time commitment, and we want to make sure that everybody can honor that commitment. The leadership structure of the Student Advisory Council has two different levels of service. The first level, which is the most common, is the at-large membership. This consists of one rep from every single representative advisory class. Members at large will gather input from their classes, and they will bring that to the council meetings. The voting members will need to be listening to their advisory grade representatives, and they will need to use that information as they go forward and look at policy initiatives at the school. The second level is once we have the general council, once we have one representative from every single advisory class, the Student Advisory Council will vote and will choose two voting members from each grade level. In other words, if 9th grade has 6 advisories, if 10th grade has 6 advisories, if 11th grade has 5 advisories, and if 12th grade has 4 advisories, that doesn't matter. Every grade level will have 2 members that will get a vote. That way we can equalize and have equal representation. So there will be 8 student voting members. These voting members are going to be very, very important in that they will have the final say in any large votes that are brought forward by the Student Council. So if we want to break this apart, here's what we're looking at. Number one, the student body. Everybody in their advisories will elect one representative. As we go down and have the representatives, their job is going to be to gather input on your concerns, questions, ideas, debate issues, and deliver that information to the larger Student Council. The voting members will vote upon policy issues, proposals, and they will also participate in our governance committees that happen once a month, meaning that they will meet directly with teachers and administrators to try and advocate for students. So a few things as far as whether or not you are considering right now as to whether or not you would like to run as a student council representative. The first meeting will take place on Monday, August 13th in the Visa Teacher Lounge. Again, we no longer have a conference room, and my office will not accommodate all the representatives since we are a growing school. So the Teacher Lounge will serve as our meeting place for the larger student council meetings. These meetings will take place every other Monday, meaning that starting August 13th, every 2 weeks there will be a student council meeting that will take place during advisory on Mondays. And voting members, they will meet every week. So if we're looking at the calendar, and again, every student that serves on the council will get one of these, we've already broken down all of the meetings for the entire year so that students that decide to serve on the council can plan accordingly. All of the meetings will begin promptly at 7:50 a.m. and voting members will be assigned to committees which meet after school 1:30 to 3:30 on the first Tuesday of each month. I do want to comment on the meeting times. The reason that we decided to move these student council meetings to Mondays during advisory is for 2 reasons. Number one, We want to make sure that students are able to show up to the meeting on time. And last year we had a lot of problems with lunch meetings, kids getting held up in the lines, people needing passes to leave class early. It was just too much of a disturbance for the cafeteria staff, for the teachers, and for the students themselves. So in this way, we can avoid that. Number two, I want to make sure that it's very, very clear that those meetings will begin promptly at 7:50 a.m. Any student advisory council rep, whether or not they're a voting member or a member at large, will not be admitted to a meeting after the meeting has begun. Last year, we did have several advisories whose representatives knew when the meetings were and decided not to show up. This year, we will be taking attendance, and we will make sure that every advisory knows whether or not their representative is doing their job. One of the other constructive criticisms that we received last year was that we did not do a good enough job, and the student council did not do a good enough job of reporting its activities back to the student body. And so to solve that problem, what we've done is scheduled about 5 to 10 minutes every other Wednesday, so the first Wednesday that happens after a meeting, to allow student advisory council reps to report the activities of the council back to their advisory classes and to get feedback. And in that way, we can make absolutely certain that not only do you, the students, know what your representatives are doing, but you can also give feedback as to what you would like your rep to say or do at the next meeting as well. So that's just a little bit about the council. I hope that all of you make a good decision today. And again, the goal for the day is to make absolutely certain that by the time advisory ends, each advisory class has a representative that is dependable and that knows when these meetings will happen and that will represent your voice.